It's the Chit Show. What's up, y'all?
What is up?
What's up, everybody?
Yeah, we got like the gang's all here tonight, and we've even got a special guest, Mr. Brian from Survival Gear BSO. How the hell you doing, man?
I'm doing
We
great.
were running the same roads there for a while, weren't we? We were kind of following each other around the country for a little while.
Yeah, we were. I'll tell you what, it's just I never leave the road, man. If I'm home, it's for less than a week, and then I'm back out again. So it's this year. I think I may have traveled more than I ever have in my life.
Really?
It's great. I mean, connecting with a lot of people. You know, obviously you guys is the whole reason I'm here. So I don't mind traveling at all.
Cool, man. Angery.
Yeah, I'm done with traveling. That's it.
Yeah, you're gonna do a little traveling.
I'm done.
No,
it
you
was
ain't.
such a nice day today, and I was outside like, oh, it's nice to be home for 2 days, and then not.
I was just gonna say you haven't even started traveling yet, bro.
Yeah.
Not before
Yeah.
you
This
got-
weekend I start the big travel.
Yeah.
So we're
Over
going
the
to
pond,
France.
over the
We're going to go
pond.
parachute into Normandy for the 80th anniversary of D-Day. Sue is not going.
Ain't gonna be there.
We're
Why
gonna
not,
miss each
Sue?
other.
The doctors won't let you fly.
Well,
got a
that
hold.
and the French Foreign Legion would pick me up and put me back in the nick.
That's
So,
right. I forgot.
Yeah.
I'm not allowed to go back to France.
You still owe them a hitch, don't you?
Yeah, I still owe them about 3.5 years
Oh
on a
shit!
5-year contract.
You know what? At this point, they can just take you. Y'all, cool. Y'all deal with my medical problems.
Yeah, there you go. But it'd be French doctors. So
Mm.
you're saying,
Would it be French nurses?
well, Brian,
We'll be
see,
outside.
I like the way you think, Brian. You're way ahead of us. He's like,
Man, you're good
yeah,
graces.
French doctors, that means French nurses, and so, yeah, that's a good point. You're gonna fit right in, bro.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you.
You know, Sue and I have a good friend. I won't get into any stories here, but we have a good friend who had to go to the hospital last year in Ukraine. And he was like, man, you're so lucky you didn't get injured in Ukraine. And I'm like, really? I mean, obviously, but what makes you say that? He goes, oh, the nurses in the hospital. And I was like, man, you know, my mind goes to like third world country type of hospital scenario. And he's like, no, they took such good care of me. Everything I needed. I'm married, man. I had to tell them to go away.
I had to tell them to go away. Huh.
Yeah.
Well, you know, there has to be some reward for them boys for what they're doing.
Yeah. I'll take the no hospital visit myself, but
I'll take them to the hospital visit too. I'll just hang out outside the back door of the hospital where they all go for their smoke breaks.
smoking cigarettes in the staircase.
Yeah.
So Brian,
can you
tell us a little bit about your business here for everyone.
I was gonna say, tell us about Survival Gear BSO and where you're gonna be next and where folks can find you. Well, that's the main topic tonight, not our shenanigans. So where are you headed next, man?
That's what I came for. I came for the shenanigans. So let's keep a few shenanigans in there. I welcome that at any day.
Don't worry about that.
Yeah, we're not shenanigans free, promise. Trust me.
Well, as you said, my name's Brian Loftus. I'm with Survival Gear BSO, stands for Bushcraft and Survival Outfitters. Our website is survivalgear.us. I got started a number of years ago in the industry. I have a background in electrical contracting. I was an electrician. Then I was on the contracting side. I did estimating and things along those lines, more making the deals happen. And when I got out of the field, I'm in a 10 by 10 white wall, fluorescent lights on the ceilings, no windows, in an office listening to some old guy's AM radio down the hall. I'm like, if I have to do this for 30 years, I'm going to blow my brains out. So I happened to stumble upon the whole self-reliance thing. I was just laying on the couch one night, flipping through the channels, came across a show, blah, 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 blah. Long story short, went out, became a certified survival instructor. I've been to a number of different schools, done a number of different courses. I don't have the traveling under my belt that, Angery or Sue has. I've done some time in the jungle. I've done some time over in the UK, places like that. But, I love it. I absolutely love it. I fell in love with it. And then I saw the need for a quality American owned and operated gear store where when someone calls, someone else picks up the phone.
I was gonna say, man, I really dig your website, and since I'm in the midst of website constructions and modifications, that had to cost you a pretty penny, dude, because that is a really nice website.
You know what?
I think it's cool.
I have had that website redone. I've been running for about 8 years now, and I've had it redone a number of times. And it was always crap. It was total crap. And my right hand man, Michael, it's always just well past working hours, so he's not here. He actually had no background in building websites. He was an education major, no background in self-reliance, nothing like that. And he came on about 3 years ago. I think next month will be 3 years. And he just started learning. I said, are you able to do this? Are you able to do this? And he said, I can teach myself. Very smart guy, picks up stuff like that. And he did the entire website. I said, here's what I want. Here's what I want the look of. And he'd bring it up and say, yay or nay. And I'd give him the thumbs up or thumbs down. He'd change it. He'd modify it. We've had a little bit of guidance as far as, some of the apps you want to install and plugins and things like that, things to make it a bit more user-friendly. But, man, Michael's done it all. I mean, the guy's absolutely brilliant.
Well, that's fantastic, because I can tell you what that website would have cost you, and it's 5 figures. Easily.
What's Michael doing later?
Hey, teenager website guy.
I got some stuff for Michael to do.
I bet. You know what? What kind of stuff? You know what? We probably shouldn't say that on the air. Never mind.
All right, past the 1 minute. We can talk about all kinds of stuff now.
Oh yeah, we're free to. Your weapon's free
for
now.
all.
We're past the first minute, so you're cleared hot. Don't worry about it. So.
No, he is. I mean, he's always looking for a little spare cash, a little something on the side, and if he can do something for you guys, you let me know. I'll pass you on to him. I'll give you his email, give you his phone number. He's brilliant. He's really good.
Awesome.
There you go.
But the gear, man, I got into the gear. I know that one of the most helpful things for me whenever I first started doing survival training, one of my favorite courses was I had an instructor who took us aside for about an hour or two, and he pulled out his pack and he said, here's what I carry in my pack. Not just what he carries, but why he carries it. Mm-hmm. And as you guys know, everything in your pack should serve more than one purpose. Unless it's a solar charger, it should serve more than one purpose. That was one of the most useful classes or once-overs that I ever had in any of the classes I've ever taken. And I just kind of fell in love with the gear. I spent thousands and thousands of dollars over the years buying stuff that was just junk. It's junk. And you get all these people, and listen, they have some great marketing tactics. These companies, they'll put millions behind their marketing, and the product they're making is total junk. What's out there right now, it's just shocking. I can't bring myself to, hey, listen, I'm sure it's great money. These people are making money hand over fist, but I can't bring myself to put my name behind something that's just going to fall apart. I can't.
I'm the same way. And like I said, I was looking at your site, and I love the Grail filter. Have any of you guys used the Grail filter? Angery, yeah, have you?
Oh yeah. My Grail comes everywhere with me. It's it was my Christmas present from Carl. And it goes everywhere. He got it for me, because of the whole jungle thing with TTOS, and it's been going everywhere. And even, you go to Mexico, I'm not even in the jungle or whatever. You go to Mexico, you're like, I'm not drinking the water. So in the hotel, you can filter your water in the room,
We've got 3 of them. Mel has one that she keeps with her. I've got one I keep with me, and then I've got the bigger one that when I'm out, if I'm going to go out, I take that one with me just for volume wise.
Do you have the titanium one? Does anybody here have the titanium one?
Carl bought himself the titanium. Well, I'm jealous.
The titanium one I want, but I don't want to pay for the titanium one. But I'm going to break down and buy it.
Yeah,
I'm going to buy it from you. Now you're carrying it. So
dual purpose. If you have a regular grill, listen, I have a number of regular grills, and I do have the titanium ultra press. You can press the water, you can purify that water, but also that sleeve, I should have brought mine up here with me. I don't have it anywhere close.
Yeah, you can boil with it. You can cook with it.
Exactly. You can boil
with it. Dig with it.
You can boil with it. I mean, it's just, again, dual purpose. It's got to serve more than one purpose if it's going in the pack.
Well, I wonder what Turkish coffee would taste like after you filter it through a Grail filter.
Try
I
it.
tried
Just
wine
try it
once.
when you get back.
Probably smooth, real smooth. But your next bottle of water is going to taste like shit.
Yeah, well,
Yep.
And that's what's going to happen. But like you were saying, Brian, things being multi-purpose, like people don't think about it like canteen cup. It's not just a cup. The damn thing's a shovel if I need it. I don't know how many of you have ever dug with one before. Not a lot of fun, but it's better than your hands. So like that, a metal container, because I tell people all the time that if I had a choice between a knife and a metal container into the woods, I'm probably going to take that metal cup because that's the hardest thing to reproduce out there. I can come up with ways to cut things, but that metal container, I mean, go off in the woods and make me something that will do what it does. I'll wait, take your time, because but that metal cup, that's a valuable thing. That pot, it's like when you see villages in third worlds, that big kettle or that big pot is always a critical thing and essential to their lives. So,
100%.
I like seeing the metal one like that. I dig it.
Yeah, if you notice, or if you're as old as I am, and remember the cartoons where the hobo's always going down the road, he's got that kerchief or the napkin on the end of a stick and a metal pot. He's got that on the end of a stick. The hobo jungle thing, and the mulligan stew and everything. You just got to have something to cook in, so that metal container is very important in a survival situation.
I've even used it in windy conditions. You flip it upside down. I don't have anything to mimic it. It's a bottle of water here. If you take that outer container of the Grail, if you're in really windy conditions and you don't want to burn through all your matches, you get that thing up like this, stick a couple of sticks up in there. If you're trying to light that match upward inside, and that way it protects it. Now you're not blocking off the bottom, so you're still getting that oxygen. You're still getting that airflow in there to feed the flame. So you can strike that match upward to save the matches, hold that up inside if this were transparent here, or if I were able to get inside. Hold it inside, and then you take up, some of your kindling up in there just to kind of really get it going and block that wind from taking out your flame. It's going to save you a lot of matches in the long run. If that's what you're stuck with, matches or very little fuel in your lighter, you have something to block the wind with.
It's a very nice tip. It's a good tip.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, neat idea. Yeah, anything, old can, soda can, water bottle, because you can burn it and it'll add fuel to that fire. But that's a cool idea, actually.
Well, that, and you can find these bottles anywhere. Water bottles, Mountain Dew bottles. Doesn't matter where you are in the world. There's a plastic bottle that some asshole has left there.
Mm-hmm.
Guaranteed.
Yep. Maybe we should promote more littering then.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing. That asshole just became your savior all at the same time.
Yeah.
Somebody might need this someday.
I'm sure I'm glad that dumb son of a bitch threw that out.
like my grandfather, when I was a kid, I remember we'd be going fishing and he'd go through McDonald's in the morning and get a biscuit, and he'd get a coffee and whatever, and we'd eat our shit and have that bag with all the napkins and everything from McDonald's, and he just throw it out the damn window. And I was like, holy shit, I'd be like, "How did you do that?" He's like, "Oh hell, that shit ain't gonna hurt nothing." My mic fell over. Sorry, guys. I probably sounded funny. My mic fell over and I didn't even see it. But yeah, he throw all that shit right out the window. He didn't care. It was.
Chris, what would you use a McDonald's breakfast biscuit wrapper for in the woods?
I mean, better.
Well, I bet it would light up and burn easy.
Wiping with leaves.
Grease.
Yeah, it's covered in grease. That'll go up like that.
Bear bait.
Fire.
Well, hey Brian, right before it came on here, I perused your website a little bit, and tell our viewers the difference between your bug out bag and your get home bag. There's a big difference. There's a big price difference, but they're basically completely two different thoughts of these bags. You're putting these bags together. Could you explain to everybody what that is?
Yes, absolutely. And as we mentioned before we started the live stream here, we're chatting about the bags, and we've become pretty well known recently for our bug out bags, our get home bags, our survival kits. I saw a need for that for a quality kit and quality bags right at the beginning of COVID. I got so many phone calls. Most of them, unsurprisingly, from New York, and many of them from doctors. And there's these guys who just panic. They're like, I don't know what I need. I got a wife. I got 4 kids, and something's going to happen. It's already happening. Can you help me? Yeah, no problem. I can help you. Now, listen, not everybody has the budget for a $500, $600, $700,000 bag, whatever it might be. So we do have some bags. Our ultimate survival kit is hovering around $650, and we're open to consultations. We do that as well. We can certainly change some things in the bags for specific orders, especially bulk orders. But we have our most popular ones are large complete kit, and then our covert complete kits, like a medium covert. And covert is basically just the gray man theory. That's all it's going with. Now, those are your larger bags. Your large complete bag is more of your military looking bag. It's like an OD green. We have multiple colors. OD green seems to be the most popular. It's got MOLLE webbing on the outside of it. The medium bag just looks like a regular old laptop bag. Hey, I work in a cubicle. I don't know what I'm talking about. I've got a laptop and 11 ounces of water in this bag, and I'm probably going to die in the next half hour. That type of look to it. And that's what we want. Now, the get home bag, as you mentioned, Sue, a lot of people just want bare bones. I need to get from point A to point B, and I don't want to break the bank. And we do have that on sale right now from 200 down to, I think, 150, or was it 165? We have a couple of different levels there. You can do some add-ons in there. 40-ounce stainless steel canteen. And then we have some add-ons. We always recommend putting in something as far as nutrition. We have these things called keto bricks, which T and I talked about a couple of weeks ago. But the get home bag, the idea behind that was your bare bones. It's nothing real fancy. Hey, this is the top of the line water filter. This is a top of the line knife. This is up. This is just going to get you from point A to point B. But there is a water straw in there. I will not put my name. I will not put my name and my reputation behind Life Straw. I just won't do it. We can go down that road if you want to, but not going to go down there right now. I have a much better product. There's not a brand name on it, but I've tested this thing for years in the field. It's solid. It is freaking solid. So I've got a water filter in there. I do have a solar charger in there, and we switched our headlamp over to a solar charged headlamp. It's an extremely bright headlamp. The reason I put a headlamp in there and not a flashlight, gotta keep your hands free.
Yeah. When you're working on camp, you're either gonna have it in your mouth or trying to hold it here. So a headlamp's way more useful in camp for sure.
Yeah, if you got to pick one or the other to have in something, I'd go for the headlamp every time. I can tie it off on my hand, so where my hand is pointing, et cetera, et cetera. It's not just think outside of the box, right? It doesn't just go on your head. You hang it up at night, in your tarp, et cetera.
Yep.
Water filtration device, solar charger, a candling device, a basic Mora knife in there, a little bit of, hey, listen, you can build a house with paracord and duct tape, right? Paracord in there, duct tape in there. I do put an N95 mask in there. If you happen to be, a lot of people are like, oh, well, you're one of these COVID freaks. No. Look at what happened during 9/11. See those people running around the streets? They are sucking down dust. If you happen to be in a situation like that, or we're sending some out to the Middle East here in the next couple of weeks for a couple of guys who are way out in the middle of nowhere, and they get some nasty sandstorms out there. So we're sending some comforts of home along with a couple of basic items and some of those N95 masks just to cover your face and protect your breathing. A signaling device where you can use a signaling device with the sun, for rescue, search and rescue. Basic Mylar emergency blanket, basic first aid kit, a couple of odds and ends. But the point of that is that it's small. I mean, this thing's like, it's a little shoulder sling bag. It's this big. It's not something where you have this giant go bag or this giant bug out bag, let's say in the back of your vehicle. And you're like, oh, well, I'm loading this or I'm moving this or I have too many groceries. I've got to take the bag out. And then you forget to put it in for a month. It's so small, you don't have to worry about moving it out of your car or moving out of your cubicle. You can stick it in a desk drawer and it's totally fine. So that was the idea behind that. Get the basics that people need, couple modern amenities in there, nothing out of hand. Let's get a good price point that everybody can afford, and let's make it small enough that it doesn't get in your way.
One thing I've added to my kits, and like even Mel's bag has it now, mine have it. Balaclava. We carried nitrile gloves, of course, and of course, range gloves, and making sure we have sunglasses, because in today's world, as we've learned from some people that are still rotting in a jail cell they don't deserve to be in, that you might need to cover up and not leave prints and leave as little trace of yourself as you can. So in my daily, what goes with me every day, there's a balaclava and gloves in there and an extra pair of sunglasses. So if I need to, I can cover up and you don't know me. Now it's harder to figure out who I am. And it's a shame that we even have to think like that in today's world, but we need to think like that in today's world. So,
Yeah.
Chris, I got to tell you, not only is what you're saying a good idea and everybody should have that, but also connecting that back with the N95 mask. This is kind of silly, but in today's world, that's actually a costume, right? Yeah. It's a costume that fits in a lot of places where people like us don't want to be.
You can get into any Starbucks, hands down, without any questions asked.
Exactly.
Boom. Right into Starbucks, nobody even takes a second look for you.
Can you maybe as part of your costume, as part of your camouflage, you can include a little Palestine flag?
That would work.
Right.
That's social engineering.
Roll right up into Trader Joe's.
That would do it. That would, yeah.
Yeah,
You can walk through
whenever I
anywhere.
see somebody wearing a mask and a Palestine flag, I'm like, total nerd. No threat right there.
What I love are the
good
ones
costume.
who are sitting. Speaking of Starbucks, the people who are sitting at Starbucks, and they've got an iPhone in one hand, and they've got an iMac or an Apple product that they're working on. They're wearing a mask, and they've got some sort of sticker. I saw this in an image once. They have a sticker on the front of their iMac that says "Smash Capitalism." You're drinking an $11 cup of coffee. You've got an iPhone which costs $1,200, and you've got a Mac that costs Lord knows how much. And you're saying "Smash Capitalism"? Come on.
Yeah. Well, we're not getting
in that vein, the other thing that I recommend, this isn't for your carry bag, guys. This is for at home. You need to have ammo and magazines in their factory packaging that you don't touch until game day. And then you glove up, you get those mags out, and you load them some bitches, and you put them on and go. And those are the mags that you put on your kit on game day. We have to remember, even in a crisis or a collapse of a nation, our government has a shitload of technology, guys, and they will use it. So we need to be a little smarter and do things the right way. Just a recommendation. Your mileage may vary. Do what you want with it. So
good point.
It's wrong that I stole all of Amber's freezer lock bags, the air sealable. Yeah, I put ammo in those things. She was like, where's all my bags at? I'm like, oh, I had to put ammo in it. On the AI part of things, though, you're talking about technology. I read this the other day, and maybe somebody can enlighten me on this if this is actually a fact. The article said that in China, their AI is so good on their camera systems that if they catch you jaywalking, of course, how a communist country works, they just deduct the money from your account for the ticket and post it all over the neighborhood. But they were saying that it's so good that they don't even have to see your face once they've locked in on who you are and AI has learned who you are. It actually knows your body movement and gestures of how you move and how you walk.
Yep, that's correct, P. And there are plenty of AI kind of applications. I don't mean apps like apps on your phone. Ways to apply AI, I'm sorry, that actually study someone's gait. And even if you, the very, very sophisticated ones, I don't know exactly what form of this they have in China, but the very sophisticated ones can figure you out even if you're trying to mask your gait.
Yep.
Wow. So I got to dig deep on my pimp stride then. I got to change my pimp stroll altogether just so it can't find me out. Man, that's scary. It's scary.
Your pimp stroll days are behind you, my friend. You're more into gimp days than pimp days. You're more hey, I'm with you, brother. I've been laying up for 3 weeks.
More rocking chair days. You got more.
How are you feeling, Chris?
Future, what you got?
Tell everybody how you're feeling, Chris, because we need to know as well.
Oh, I'm doing better. Got a blood clot. Yeah, deal with that. So, the sciatic thing is up and down. Some days I'm like, oh, it's just getting better, and then wake up in the morning, you're like, fuck my life, and so it's kind of like that. But
I can relate. I can relate, brother. We can just sit there and commiserate in our tighty whities on the porch.
I'm the same way. I wake up sore, and I mean, I feel worse in the morning than after I've had a good night's sleep than I feel the rest of the day. But and it kind of makes me worried about the future. I mean, what happens when there's no electricity and there's I got to go boil water to drink it and gather firewood. Everything we talk about being self-reliant involves manual labor, right?
But I fall asleep without my noise machine.
The reason I bring that up is because Brian on his website has thought of that too. One of the things I'm very weak on, the seven main categories we talk about for being prepared for a self-reliant community for either a natural man-made disaster. Brian, tell us about this Jace Medical and this Duration Health bag. These look awesome. That's something I got to get for my family.
Well, I linked up with Jace first, and then with Duration Health, and there are a number of companies out there like these guys. I believe Jace was the pioneer. We stick with them. We do great with them. They do really great work. So they started off with they're calling it 5 life-saving medications. And that is 5 different types of antibiotics, everything from doxy, to azithromycin, all your main ones you need there. And what they'll do is it is run by nurse practitioners and doctors, certified nurse practitioners and doctors. And it's kind of like you get online and we'll do like a chat. I'll do a chat with a doctor for 10 minutes. It's a quick intake. They ask you some questions. You input your info, upload your license photo.
What state are you doing this out of?
I'm in PA. Those guys are in Utah. Okay.
Only reason I'm asking is probably, 7-8 years ago, there was an outfit in North Carolina doing the same thing. And the state came in and the FDA came in and essentially put them out of business. At the end of it, what they said is, what you're doing is not illegal, but you cannot do it. Just wanted to put that out there. That's the way things fell on that one. They told them, you're shut down. You're not breaking any laws, but you're not doing this. And the state shut them down. So for what it's worth, it was called Prepper Pharmacy at the time.
Prepper Pharmacy.
Yeah.
I wonder if it had anything to do with the name, either Prepper or Pharmacy in it. Probably Prepper. Big Brother doesn't like self-reliance. They don't like guys like us. They don't like our businesses. They don't like our mindsets. Nope. Everybody knows that. But so far, so good with Jason Duration. I'm using Jace for about 2 years now. Duration a little over a year. And here's the first case that I got from Jace. And I believe we're one of their top affiliate sellers programs. And I have 2 of my other prescriptions. It comes with 5. 2 of my other prescriptions are elsewhere in the house. I actually had to tap into them twice. So thank God I have. And I gave some to one of my sisters. She's got 3 kids. They're like bang, bang, bang in age. They're just back to back. They're always sick. They're always bringing something home from school. They're at the doctor's like twice a week. It's insane. And they do have a kit for families and a kit just for pediatrics for kids. Obviously, I don't have the kit for pediatrics. I don't have any children myself, but they have some smaller ones, a little thinner here. You can see just kind of some add-ons. And what they'll do also, instead of just your antibiotics, now they've gotten into, and Jace does the same, Duration Health does the same thing. If you're on any regular medications, they have a very wide variety of medications that they can give to you. I've got azithromycin here, and this is doxy. I upped my doxy since I had to tap into it. But if you have a regular medication you're taking, a thyroid medication, an inhaler or whatever it might be, you tell them what you have. What they do is they basically tap into your previous medical records from your doctors. They certify that everything's on the up and up. You can't just call them and be like, well, I got 1,000 Vicodin in a month. that's not going to fly. You know, these guys are legit. They run a very straight and narrow program, and they're wonderful people to deal with. The Duration Health one, I want for the creme de la creme. I want for the big guy. So this one I stick in my car, and I teach, I say maybe 1 to 2 times a year, depends on the event that I'm at. I'll teach a survival bug out vehicle class. Again, I've tapped into a few of these here. I can fit regular medications down in here, or my own medications, and then there's a pocket, and there is a whole guide that comes with it too, Sue. So it gives you a field guide for all your stuff, and it'll give you
about shelf life of something like this, right? How does that look?
So legally, they have to say 1 year. That's the way that goes. Stored in a cool, dry place, 3 to 5 years. You know,
Doxy in that, though, as a caveat, folks, Doxy is one that degrades quickly and becomes poisonous when it starts that. So watch your Doxy, because that's a powerful antibiotic, guys. I don't know if anybody's ever been on it. It's one that makes you photosensitive. You got to avoid the sun and a bunch of other shit. But that's a powerful ass antibiotic. So
it really is.
That's a really good point, Chris. And look, I'm not a medic at all, but I've been around all of that long enough. Doxy is the perfect example, and it's not like you're going to see it and it turned a different color, right? You have to know what your schedule is. Yeah,
it's like aspirin. Aspirin does the same thing. Once it starts to oxidize, it becomes toxic to people as well. So, we got to rotate our medicine cabinets, folks. And yeah, it would suck to have to throw, 50, 100 Doxy into the garbage. Don't flush them, folks. Stop adding that shit to the water systems. But it's a good thing that you had to throw them away. It means you never needed them. Replace them for the next time when you will need them. This is a great idea. And I was going to bring it up, and I'm glad Sue did, because the prepper pharmacy thing, as soon as I read that, man, it sounded just like prepper pharmacy, and it was a big deal. It was, and they had kind of sort of the same operation where you called in and they would do an interview with you, and then you would talk to the PA who would basically approve you, and then you had to talk to the actual pharmacist, and you had to express to him that you understood what all of these were and why you needed them before they would write your scripts and send you your stuff. So it was the same sort of thing that got put out of business. I'm very happy to see another one, and I'm going to start promoting that because people need that. That's a valuable asset that everybody should sign up for and get some of those things. Stuff you won't think of, guys. I grew up, or I don't grow up, but I had 3 daughters and Mel. So women and stuff. So things for everything from a yeast infection on for ladies, get those, but they're prescription for the real ones. Get those things from this pharmacy and put them away. The stuff you don't think about, antifungal creams, everybody goes for antibiotics, but the little things, stuff for the eyes too, antibiotic ointments for eyes, because eye injuries are a thing as well.
Absolutely.
It's the stuff you don't think of that what you're going to need because you didn't think of it. So.
Yep.
Brian,
Emery needs to get some before he takes off on his trip. He's looking for a stud, and the girls in Paris, they already have the STD. All they need is you, Emery.
You're the missing link.
The gift that keeps on giving.
Oh,
I was waiting for the punchline, and you
Me
provided.
too. But it was so good. All right. How many years ago and where did you hear that the first time?
Because obviously that's not yours.
Oh, that's
no, it's not mine. I think most people heard it from what was that hit movie, The Hangover? I think somebody said that in the movie The Hangover.
No. Sue heard it in a much more interesting place. I know he did. I know he saw it or heard this in a much more interesting place. So where'd you?
I heard it somewhere. I can guarantee you, I heard it somewhere around a campfire during one of my trainings.
Where'd you hear it?
I just recently heard that the first time I was at a tracking class in Harnett County, and one of the SRT SWAT guys was telling me that, and I was like, that joke is so good, I'm sending that to my wife right now. And of course, I got chewed out for the rest of the afternoon on text by my wife. Yeah,
that's so
because
funny.
You haven't understood yet that you can't send an STD over text message.
I was next to Fort Bragg, Or I'm
Yes.
sorry, not Fort Bragg anymore, Fort Liberty.
No,
All
no.
the guys
Fort
down
Bragg.
there
Fort
call
Lib.
it Fort Lib.
Well,
Yeah, it's Fort Lib now, but Fort Bragg is
Lib.
famous for that kind of thing because at Fort Bragg even the STDs are airborne.
yeah, they are.
That I have heard.
Since we're talking about the Fort Bragg area, and it is mildly recent news that some people have heard about and many have not, how are you guys tracking the interaction with that colonel and the Chechens that went down?
I've not even heard of that.
Yes, that's going
She's
all
like
over the
me.
Special Forces community. That is not that. There's been about 80 to 90 of those similar type of incidents where people are surveying the homes
Our SF.
of most officers, from what I understand, but mostly officers are noticing that people are starting to survey or pull surveillance on their homes and their families. And it's putting a small panic through and a ripple effect all through all the groups right now. And I don't know. I got to check with some of my SEAL and MARSOC buddies. I don't know if it's happening to them either, but it's mostly officers they're doing this to. I don't know why.
These guys
Well, I
came in
thought-
as supposed electrical contractors. That's what I understood.
Well, okay, so I talked to one of my CAG buddies on this and got a little bit more info on it. And the colonel saw one of the guys taking pictures of his house, and his kids happened to be outside at the time. So he went to question this guy. That quickly evolved into a gunfight in which the Chechen lost. There was a car with a getaway driver, and as I was told, he got rolled up. I know that means that local Leo doesn't have him. He's probably in Gitmo by now. But there were two. They had phones. The phones were all in Russian.
How is this not global headlines right now?
Because
That's huge. If that's an actual event,
that's an
that
actual. I
Yeah,
can
I've heard
confirm
of it.
all of that. Gunfight, killed one, rolled one up, phones in Russian, photographic equipment, listening devices, the whole bag of tricks. Yeah.
wow.
Yep.
Yes. And no one in the media is fucking talking about this. And if you've read,
No, there's like 20 of those incidents around. There's like 20 of these incidents around 7th Group, around Eglin Air Force Base, and down there in Niceville in Florida, your area, Chris,
Mhm.
and then further south down by around Tampa. There's officers that are noticing that that
That's
people are
big time.
taking lots of pictures, incognito, acting like again like they're electrical contractors or they're doing surveying. All you got to we know exactly what happened. And if any of you guys listening see somebody that's snooping around your house and taking pictures and trying to figure out where your security cameras are and stuff like that, remember these contractors usually have a vehicle that has a sign on it, and they're supposed to be wearing some kind of PPE and something to identify them real quickly, like a badge or something. If they're from an electrical company or from a gas company or something like that, they usually have something that let you know quickly that they belong to a utility company.
in this case,
Question.
they're
Absolutely.
covered
Question.
for action. They're covered for actions. They were an electrical contractor, but the office for the electrical contractor is a vacant lot. So they were out putting together a target package. These guys they're active, and who knows how many are here. If you've read it's an
empty lot, and it's owned by a Russian national, and nobody knows. It's up in New Jersey, and there's no electrical company up there.
No, it's a vacant lot where they said the office was. If any of you have read Suvorov's book Spetsnaz, you know where we are in the timeline for things then, and we're really close to red. It goes white, pink, red, and we are on that pink-red borderline where things go kinetic, in my opinion. Just that they're that brazen now to be doing this shit in the light of day out in the open and getting in gunfights. I mean, they're getting in fucking gunfights now. So to me, that's a much bigger deal,
Yep. And
Absolutely.
to all of our listeners and to you too, Brian. I mean, if you're going to buy ammo, do it in the next couple of months, because I'm hearing rumors that's the business I was in after I retired. But I'm hearing rumors that even some of the military contracts looking for, the propellants and everything. Right now, they're talking about a shortage between St. Mark's and Ogden. They're talking about a shortage that's going to last 18 to 24 months just on propellant.
Of course it is.
So the price of ammunition within the next 60 days is probably going to triple.
Yeah.
Wow.
Once again, same place. Yeah. In case no one was, learned from the last time, maybe you should just be buying ammo on the regular anyway, just a little bit here and there, along with all these other preps. Maybe some hand tools too, with the way things are going.
I'm sitting in the studio, and just in the studio, I can see 7,000, 8,000 rounds, and that's not even where I store ammo. So I'm all right.
So that's a weekend of training.
It is a weekend
of training right there with
This is
tactical
training
rifle.
ammo. That's why it's not in storage. That's what all this is for.
Yeah, that's why when tactical rifleman's over jumping in Normandy, I'm going to go to Carl's house and I'm going to leave with a full truck of ammo. I know where it's
Hey,
at.
I'll come help you clean out the bottom of that pool table. What'd you say, Emery?
I was just saying,
What I'm talking about. That pool table is coming with me.
See, what you don't understand, Sue, is that Carl figured it out. And so all the ammo is just never leaving his side, and the pool table is probably booby trapped. I'm just saying.
And I'm not helping you load that fucking pool table, Sue.
Since you're shopping, I'd like to have that trailer of Carl's as well, if that's available.
Yeah, I had one like that, and I sold the fucking thing, and it had a portable solar power station in it. I could take that thing anywhere and have 15 kW of power.
Oh, that's nice.
Nice.
I disassembled all and sold all the parts off.
Now, what brand was that?
Yeah, I got
What's he running?
What was that, Brian?
Carl's got the Hive trailer. It's made out in Utah, and they're only doing. My understanding is they're only doing custom orders now based on if he feels like taking your order. Highly recommended. So he builds everyone per order. He builds your trailer per order, and so it's.
I was on their website the other day. We were looking through it, and they are salty.
I like my camper better.
I mean, they're great. They're nice, but they ain't cheap.
Nope. Well, they're hand built. You
get what you pay for. I mean, I would buy it. I'm not lying. That's a great setup.
Oh, it's nice.
So, Brian, can we get back to you a second, because I want to take us to the next category.
No. You get information like this, like what Sue was saying. Next 60 days, buy the ammo. Next 60 days, because the next 18 to 24 months is going to be tough.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter if it gets off topic from what we all plan on going down. We're all learning something. I know I am. So keep talking, boys. Keep talking.
Well, so Brian, here's what I'm curious about that I want to bring up. Sue brought up a couple of your interesting kind of builds before. What caught my eye is kind of your I see some SEER like handcuff kits. I'm sorry. They've got picks in them. They've got keys, all kinds of different stuff. Walk us through a little bit of your thought process on that, because that's another thing that we deal with. We have some classes that deal with some of that. And so you have some really cool looking options there.
I do. And I got that from going through SEER myself, a civilian version of SEER when I went through survival school. And I've been through that. I went through a touch of it with Joe Tedeye when I did his WETC course a couple years ago. And there were only 4 of us in the class, and no one had done anything like that before. So he basically asked everyone, he said, hey, on a level of 1 to 10, what do you want? And everyone was like a 2 or a 3. And I'm like, give me a 9. If 10's waterboarding, I've already done this. Like, I've been through some shit. So give me a 9. And I'm like, all right, well, I can't give anything away. But I was wishing Joe went a little harder. I was.
I love it. When we do a survival class and the students show up, we'll ask them, like, how hard do you want to go? And they're all, we want you to make it as hard as you can. And we're like, no, you don't. Because if we're going to do that, I'm going to take all your shit from you, like everything. And we're going to do it that way.
Oh, yeah.
So we're not going to make it as hard as we can. but we'll make it difficult, I promise.
Well, I was involved a number of years ago with some SEER instruction. And after I took the class, I really just kind of fell in love with it. It's the most fun you'll never want to have again. And I really loved it. So I got into instruction with it, and then of course got into the gear. And I know from going through it, where am I going to be searched? What are they going to take from me? What can I carry on my person? I've got handcuff keys everywhere. I mean, I actually sell a product, and it comes with a little packet of petroleum jelly. Whoop, right up there. That's your escape and evasion gear. I'm not shitting you, man. I am, no pun intended. I'm not shitting you.
Hey, your prison wallet, that's a valid option depending on what's going on. That's a valid option.
The escape and evasion.
Unless you enjoy it.
Some people might enjoy it, yeah.
Well, see, Brian, Angery keeps his keister kit in a water bottle. So,
It's actually a Grail filter.
It's a titanium Grail.
Prefer to football. I insert it about 4 times a day just to make sure it's up in there.
All right, Brian, we got some questions for you from folks, and I want to make sure we hit them. These guys are asking, so let's get them up. All right, Will, there. Do you carry any Faraday bags, and do you have access to other items like NVGs, etc., etc.?
NVG. Okay, first of all, the Faraday bag. Yes, I absolutely do carry Faraday bags. We sell everything from a backpack level and a dry bag, a full dry bag. I can get some very high end stuff where you can actually fit, your a couple of modems in that. Those aren't very big sellers for us because we're more of your mobile get up and go type of company, rather than shelter in place. Although we do have access to them. Now we sell the backpacks, we sell the dry bags, we sell small stuff like our NX3 bags. It's just the size to put a cell phone in. Yeah. And they're great. They're very small, compact. You roll it up and fit it right in your pocket. We have those sizes. We have size for tablets. We have sizes for I can fit this laptop plus probably 4 others inside the pack. Now, if you buy the backpack, it's already got 4 sewn into it.
Nice.
2 the size of cell phones, 1 for a tablet, and 1 for a laptop. And that is what I carry with me every time I travel, and I put all my electronics in there. So Faraday bags, absolutely, we do carry the Faraday bags from Faraday Defense. And as far as the
super question,
the NVGs, no NVGs. Do I have a set? Absolutely, I have a set. I can't remember.
Then if you're not selling them, I'm going to plug somebody who is. If you guys are looking to buy nods right now, go to brushbeater.store, and there's your spot. If you've got retarded money and you want aviation grade and all that good shit, look up licentiaarms.com in Louisville, Kentucky. And they are your premier vendor of, very top quality, extremely expensive nods. I have my dual tubes there being rebuilt right now, getting a nice new housing and stuff. Terribly expensive, though. They're very expensive, but for nods only. For the other stuff, your store for sure. But I want to plug Brush Beater's store if you're not selling nods, because he does.
No, I'm not selling nods. I'd love to get into that someday, but hey, a little bit at a time.
And that's a guy to talk to because he's one of the biggest distributor in the country at the moment. Actually, he's selling more night vision than anybody else is.
Well, I'll tell you what, after the show, I'd love it if you send me over an email. I'd love to connect with you.
Yeah, hook you up. We had this up and I didn't even read it. So Aim for Survival asked a couple questions there. Name of your company and the medical company that he wanted the pharmacy again.
My name is the name of my company is Survival Gear BSO. You can find us at survivalgear.us. And for the medication company, you can find that right on our website. Main drop-down menu, it's laid out pretty easy for consumers to follow. And you go into the first aid, and you'll see a section for medications, and it's Jace Medical. And it gives you a little tutorial. We've got little videos and such and little how-tos right on our homepage, and there's access to that portal right through our home or right through our website, not our homepage, right through our website. And you can also if you go through our website, you're going to get yourself a coupon for about $10 or $15. 10 or $15 in today's world goes a whole long way.
Adds up quick.
And follow right on the pharmacy. Kim's question.
Yeah, the
Do they take
website's
any
so easy.
insurance
Even
with VA? Oh, sorry, Sue. Sorry, go ahead.
no, I was going to say the website's so easy. Even Sue can do it. So I a lot of interesting stuff on the website.
Can do it.
Everybody look at it. The tactical entry kit that Emery talked about's on there. I like the surgical kit. A lot of people we didn't get enough of this. I didn't get to go to it at Mountain Readiness, but and if you just got to give sutures and stuff like that, I suggest everybody get the surgical kit, learn how to do sutures on a piece of chicken or something like that, because a lot of times you're not, there's some things that you can, some simple things that you can do. You don't have to be a doctor, but you can put people back together a little bit that would really turn into life-threatening situations in an emergency situation or a long-term, event that we're talking about. Just having these skills and then having the antibiotics and giving a suture and keeping the infection out of there is going to save a lot of lives in the future. I'm very weak on it. That's on my to-do list. I got to do that. I got to get back into commo a little bit. And so, yeah, check out this website. It'll make people think. It's easy to go through. I really enjoyed. I've done it in the last 10 minutes just before we got on tonight. So great website.
Appreciate that, Sue. Thank you.
And do they take any kind of insurance like Champ VA or any insurances whatsoever there?
Now, I don't know about the particulars of insurance, but yes, they do take insurance.
Oh, so you'll have to check with them to see if your provider is accepted. So
yeah, and basically how it goes, and that's again a step-by-step process. And once you get into the meat of things, and it's your basics, your first name, your last name, your birth date, your email address, the stuff we have to input on nearly a daily basis anywhere else we go in the world. And then they'll get to the point there when they connect you with a doctor. You can ask, they may ask you, what type of insurance do you have? Do you want to put this through insurance? And you can ask any questions of them you like. They're very, very helpful people.
Awesome. Well, that's fantastic. Now I'm gonna pivot the last few minutes of this here, guys, for something that I've got going on that you guys all don't know about. That Friday night, it's looking like Friday night at 9 p.m. We are going to do a Twitter space on X with a fella that I follow, that I work with on Twitter. K9 Reaper is his handle if you want to look for him. He's a South African living through the collapse. He's a Boer. He's an Afrikaner. And he and his buddies voluntarily do security patrols around their community, dealing with all of the theft and the violence there. And the violence is immense. It's terrible. We are sponsoring him, Brush Beater on Twitter. And you guys, a lot of people know who Brush Beater is. Joe Dolio under Tactical Wisdom and myself are sponsoring a trip to the U.S. for him. He will be put through training here by a few instructors. We're going to load his pockets with as many goodies as South African customs will allow him to carry back in. So we're asking some folks out there that want to help fund this. If you want to pitch in and help, a lot of people already have. Russ, if you'll put that email address up. This account was made simply for this. This money goes to this PayPal address that presently I control, which I will be passing on to Reaper once we get things settled down a little bit. But we're funding his flight, everything, 100%. The man will not spend a single rand of his money while he's here, because presently, to give you an idea of what the exchange rate is like, $1,000 US is 21,000 South African rand. Their economy is in free fall. It's a nation falling apart. And it's a great example for us to be looking at of what's going to happen and how it occurs. Now, of course, there's some racial overtones there, which that's here too, isn't it, guys? But we're going to be talking with him, and then we're going to be bringing him to the U.S. in October. And we'll be doing some lives and stuff with him while he's here. So if anybody wants to help fund this, that is the email address you can send PayPal to. That's the only way we're taking money at the moment. Although Reaper does, if you want to go to K9 Reaper on Twitter, he does take Bitcoin directly. there's that way as well. But I wanted to put that out there. We're just trying to help this guy. It's just someone we know from Twitter. He posts a lot about the collapse in South Africa and the violence you see there. And the things that you will see there are staggering if you watch them. You know, an armored car cannot drive down the road in South Africa. It will be attacked. Cash in transit, almost not a thing anymore, because that's what they call it there. And with rolling gunfights, guys, this isn't people sneaking up and, you know, stealing your fucking weed eater. This has got people coming to your house with a very sophisticated backpack jammer. We're talking nation state level equipment. So your radio don't work, your Wi-Fi don't work, your cell phones don't work, nothing works. And then they'll take 4 or 5 days to torture you to death in your home and steal everything you have. So I can't stress enough to folks to watch what's happening in South Africa. And they're voting today. Is their elections. I'm curious to see if ANC wins again, because they're what they're doing. But watch what's happening there, because it's foreshadowing us. Only ours will be bigger and way uglier than theirs, because there's so many guns in this country. It's a double-edged sword, you know. But anybody who feels motivated to donate, I'm putting that out now. You'll be able to watch the space on Friday and hear from him, talk to him, ask questions. You know, it'll be a thing. And that one's open-ended with no time limit. We're going to run it for however long it runs. It'll be 3 a.m. for him. It will be 9 p.m. for us. And he'll be on Friday night. So if you can check it out, recommend it. But
can you put up those times?
They get posted everywhere.
Yeah, okay, great.
As we get close, I'm as Russ, who's Russ, he knows well.
Yeah.
I'm a last minute guy. I'm not a let's plan things out long and
he's
far
way
ahead.
ahead of the game. Russ is way ahead of the game.
Russ is, that's why I have Russ, because I don't have that part of my brain, and Russ keeps it for me. So
that's my right-hand man.
Russ and Teresa both. They're a pair, but like a glove in a hand. So yeah, they're awesome. And I just wanted to stick that out there, because there was a comment here about this, and Patrick up there in Michigan. Yeah, we will be on, and Joe will be there. Joe Dolio, Brush Beater will probably be on as well. We'll have Reaper on. And if any of you guys want to hop on, let me know. You're more than welcome to come. I just didn't know what you guys are doing. And this just came together suddenly by me going, hey, man, we should do this. Like, I don't have enough shit going on, but this is what we're doing. So anyway,
I'll be free Friday night, because I'm not going to be in Paris picking up an STD like Emily.
Best STD I will ever have gotten. Because
I don't know. I don't know about the French. I don't know. I'm on the fence.
Listen, Chris, I'd love to get a chance to talk with this guy on Friday if I can make it, and see as far as gear wise. It sounds like these thieves, they can outgear just about anybody in that area.
Bro,
so
if you're willing,
see what I can do.
If you're willing to help sponsor, absolutely, I'll be in touch. And because we also asked his team, we said, hey, go on Amazon and make us a wish list. And he's like, Brew in South Africa. So I said, that don't work for them. They don't have fucking Amazon, guys. Think about that. If they order Amazon, they've got to order from Amazon UK, and it takes over a month for anything to get there, and it probably gets stolen in transit. So they can't do that. So he'll give me a wish list of stuff from distributors where we can purchase and ship to him. And obviously you can ship over there too. Now there are certain restrictions. There's some ITAR, other restrictions in place and things, but we can also get around those. If we need an approved shipper, which for some items you do, I have one, not a problem. So we can get anything into the country that's legal for him to possess.
That's great. We'll have to read up on the rules and regulations of what's permitted to come in there. I do that from time to time with various countries. Never to South Africa, not yet.
Yeah. So, but it's just ITAR stuff. As long as we're not sending anything electronic, like I can't even. He can't even have a spectrum analyzer. Like he can't have a ham radio. He can't have shit like that. He can't have that. He can have thermal. He can have nods, but he can't have like radios and spectrum analyzers, and that kind of thing is a big no-no over there. So we're not doing those. But anything else that his team needs, like if they need it, and we can make it happen, we want to do that for them. You know, so
That's great. I'm
just
anxious.
reaching out to help. You know, we've already supplied him with a FLIR breach, you know, thermal, because they needed one. He told me how badly he needed one, and it was like we were talking. It was more like we would love one of these, but we know that that's so far beyond us. We can never afford that because of that exchange rate. You figure a FLIR breach is probably $2,500, so that's 50,000 rand. You know, to them, it's a lot of fucking money. So it got donated. You know, it got sent to him for free. They didn't pay for it, and that was on us.
Wow.
You know, we took that upon ourselves. So, just trying to help out. And, you know, I can't stand to see folks that are doing the right thing in a horrible situation struggle for lack of a little bit of shit. Like the FLIR breach I sent him was my personal one, and I sent it because I'm not using it. I don't need it today. He needs it today. And so I sent it to him. And it was a gift. So
That's our Chris.
that's, well, you know,
It is what you do, man. I mean, I'm kind of
Chris
joke, but you help everyone out when you can.
I try. But it's gonna be fun. So Friday night will be fun. It'll be a good time. And I know you're gonna be in France with whatever that dude's name. I mean, that chick's name is that you don't know yet. And
That chick, Carla. That's it.
yeah,
Carl.
The story you're sticking with.
Emmy goes all the way to France to sleep with Carl.
You know, well, first of all, it's the whole family going. Yeah, his missus is going, and you know, Nick, and you know, we got the whole family event. But
Oh, well, remind his missus that we have her crushed Coach sunglasses that were obviously set on a tire of Carl's trailer, and when they rolled out, they rolled over them.
oh,
we got
I will make sure to make fun of them for it.
Do that.
You know what's weird to me is today I had to sit and figure out how to mount a GoPro mount to a World War II steel pot. And there's no way to not make that look. There's no way to make that look not awkward.
No.
So how did it end up? I mean, what did we do? How did
A drill and two
Duct
self-tapping screws is what you fucking do.
Yeah, so I was thinking about all kinds of stuff. I ended up making, for now, we'll see if I lose my GoPro, but for now, I ended up managing to adhere one of those GoPro sticky doos to it.
And you're going
as good as gone.
And you're going to trust that to jump out of that C-47 and stay stuck to that fucking pot?
No, which is why I'm gonna backup wire it to the inside of the helmet.
JB welded.
Yeah.
I've used those
hold it the whole time.
I've used those sticky pads for a GoPro. I did a bunch of whitewater rafting with them. They work great. Still on my helmet.
They work great when there's a surface that mates well with them, and that's what we're going to find out here, right? My skydiving helmet, I have that on. It's been awesome, even with the 360 cameras on it. But I never trust glue. You know, even if it holds up for a while, it's like, well, next time it's going to break. You know, we'll see. We'll see.
I don't know why.
I suggest, are you gonna GoPro? Are you gonna film yourself, or are you gonna try to film looking out?
Well, so that's a good question, actually. So I'm setting up. I'm GoProing everybody who's jumping in our little family, and you know, normal GoPros are to film other people. Whoa. I don't know what just happened there, but
that was kind of interesting. Your heart
cameras, and so with a 360, if you can mount it a little bit forward, then you can see a kind of one angle of yourself and anywhere out there. And then I'm also mounting one on my foot, which for looking up, and for round canopy jumps, that's a really cool look. You see yourself, you know, from underneath jumping out. You see the canopy open. It's cool.
No, I was going to say where the chest harness.
He says it's
above your reserve.
For a cool look. That's it.
Yeah, the chest thing might happen. We'll see. Yeah. But I find, and it's a good tip for anybody watching who is interested in filming stuff with a GoPro. small changes on where you mount it on your body make a big difference in how people view the footage that you're trying to take. And for a lot of skydiving stuff, the closer, and shooting stuff especially, the closer you can get it to eye level.
Shut up. Nobody wants to hear about skydiving. Shut up. I don't want to hear about skydiving. I can't do that anymore either. Brian, you get a vote in this. Brian. Okay.
You know what?
Brian,
I'm about
T,
to go
Chris, we all, let's all vote on this. I think Emery should have to shave his beard off and do a mohawk like the 101st did on the morning of June 6, 1944. He should have the face paint and he should have to shave a mohawk and do everything like the 101st.
I'll tell you what.
He ain't got no hair for the mohawk, so he's got to shave the mohawk onto his face.
I like it.
All the way down your chin too. Like,
yeah, Chris, I'm just surprised you didn't call it a male landing strip.
Well, there you have it.
I'll tell you what though, I have a portion of that covered here. And
there you go, old school one too.
I will tell you that the beard is not going Sue. But I'll do a faux little mohawk in my kind of advanced bald spot thing.
Get some of that spray paint.
If you're gonna glue something on, glue on a mohawk.
Like it makes a difference. You're jumping with a helmet.
Glue one onto the helmet.
Oh, there's an idea.
Like a big purple one.
Yeah.
All the reenactor guys are gonna love that.
This is all the young kids have those. Young kids have
that big red plume like the Legionnaires did,
Yeah, glue on some testicles too.
Placards so they can smack behind him as he's falling out of the
air.
Brian, I'm sorry, we didn't mean to run over you there, bro.
No, this is way too much fun. Keep going, man. Keep going. This is way too much fun.
Well, since we're on Merkins, y'all know what a Merkin is? Not a American, a Merkin. Spelled the same.
Enlightened.
No, nobody, no takers. All right. So a Merkin back in the day, like the Wild West kind of era, women didn't really mow the lawn like they do today. It wasn't a thing. It wasn't acceptable, right? You had to have a friggin' tomato bush down there. And so when women got crabs or any other stuff like that, they would have to kind of shave it all off. And a merkin is essentially a wig for down there, so you don't have to be embarrassed and show that you've shaven.
I don't think that
was
up,
guys.
Society.
Look it up.
Shoot today in this day and age, but I get where you're going with it.
Guys,
learn something new every day.
I really think we should end tonight on the Merkin. I think what better way to close out?
It's not going to get much better than that.
There's nothing that I can add to this. That's it.
I'll see if I can find a Merkin wholesaler. I'll get them up on the website.
Y'all stay Merkin. I'm out.
You'll stay Merkin. Oh my God!
Don't call them Merkin. Call it a
T-shirt in the making.
Call it a groin wig.
Emery, y'all stay Merkin has to run with
stay Merkin
T-shirt. That's the next
time.
patch after the balloon patch.
I bet you can sell the shit out of those at fucking Mount Monster truck rallies and shit. Just put American flag and say y'all stay Merkin on it.
All right, Chris, head it up. Let's do it.
I hit another one. There's another one. Brilliant idea. Somebody's gonna make a fortune.
Yeah, we got that one, and you're a great cunt, Gary.
You're a great cunt, Gary.
Chris, half of your beard would make a great Merkin.
A great Merkin.
You know, sometimes my beard is a Merkin, if you know what I mean. You walked right into that one, man. You led me into it. I jumped right off that cliff.
All right.
I was going to say something like that, but I think Robbie's watching. I don't want to get in trouble.
Somewhere to be tonight, so I got to end this now. And Brian, thanks for being here, bro. And me and you're going to talk some more. We'll talk off channel tomorrow. I'll reach out and get a hold of you.
Sounds good. Looking forward to it.
Y'all stay
Appreciate you
merkin.
being here.
Stay merkin.
Yeah, stay merkin, y'all. T, you got anything?
There is nothing that I can add at this point. Just wrap it up. That's it. It's a wrap.
T,
Thanks for having me,
T's
boys.
in all
Have a
of
good
the
time.
merkin. He's in all of the merkin. Sue, what do you got?
Merkin.
Yeah, my wife accused me of butt dialing her the other day, and I said, no, it's my nipples. And she goes, oh, nipples on the butt. And I was like, only when you sit on my face. So that's,
Man after
and
my
then
own heart.
I wasn't allowed to talk to her for the rest of the day.
I wasn't allowed to
But,
talk to her.
You shouldn't be allowed to talk
I'm
to
going
the
to bring
public.
that I'm going to bring the Merkin idea up to her, see what she says.
I think I'm going to have it printed as a T-shirt and put it in my store and see if anybody buys it.
I'll buy it. I'll buy it right now.
I'll if I wore T-shirts, I'd buy it. And we need to have an Easter egg, like y'all stay merkin, and at the end it needs to be like a little heart, little furry heart looking thing right there, like a merkin, like a little y'all stay merkin with one right there, like a little one. Like
I tell you what, it's a shame we don't know anyone with a T-shirt company whose name is Byron Russell.
oh,
Great.
and I also have a very good graphics guy, super good
Right
graphics
there.
guy.
All right there.
Yeah, I was going to get
There he is.
I was going to get Byron to make me a T-shirt that said "Meet my wife," and then all my ex-wives' names have an X through them all the way down to my belly.
Hey Sue, when do you get to to wear your colors for the Graybeard Syndicate again? Since you are baby faced and smooth shaven, which is
Since your face needs a merkin.
Yeah, your face needs a fucking merkin, Sue.
Your face needs a merkin.
No, I'm the only handsome one here. The rest of you have to hide your ugliness
We
behind
didn't
your
say anything
merkins.
about that. But
Emery,
Yeah.
you need to text Robbie right now. Sue really needs a merkin on his face.
he needs a merkin.
Yeah, but now I'm going to have to explain to Robbie what the hell a merkin is.
No, Sue will. Sue will.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, Sue. He'll mess up the explanation. He does every time. Oh, merkin's what you need, honey. What? What did you say?
I'll show you a merkin.
Yeah,
Everybody.
Emery will get a hug for it, and I'll get slapped in the mouth.
Yep. As it should be. No, everybody. Thanks for hanging with us tonight. It was a good time. Thanks, guys, for being here. Everybody in tonight. We won't get to do this for a little while. This is a little bit of a sad farewell. Emery's got some travels ahead of him, but he's going to be in his element, and he will be enjoying life as he hates life. So.
That's right. Well, I appreciate that, brother. Thank you, and I will.
Hey, you're my thoughts, man. Anytime that you have the ability to reach out, man, just pop a flare up. So
I will.
You know
I will.
what I'm saying?
Safe travels.
I will send updates to everyone through you guys.
Group text. Yeah, group text.
I'll be in it. Snapchat, whatever the fuck. I don't care. We'll communicate one way or another.
A little Snapchat.
I'll send you some snaps. I'll send you some snaps.
Snap me that merkin. Yeah.
All right,
No,
guys.
I appreciate it. For everybody who's watching, I love you guys too. And yeah, good stuff. I just got to travel a little bit and I'll be back.
Yeah, that's a cool safari you're going on, bro. You got to let me know how you got in on that shit, because
I hear Portugal's nice this time of year.
it looks lovely. Yeah. Yeah. All right, guys. Y'all know the drill. Be good at it. We will catch you next week.